Okay, Shalom, Shalom, Kam Yasha'Allah, Koholayim La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Akahakadash, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth, and just want to say waters for the H.I.M and Ahwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is H.I.M the Walk. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And just wanted to touch on AI, so to speak. When it comes to these lessons, a lot of the times, if you want to see a breakdown, because I know the beloved brother Allah, he was talking about like how YouTube, they've changed, like how you can get to certain videos. And and every time he had said it, I didn't mention it in his comment board, but it's like, with certain lessons or any type of breakdown that you want to know as far as like Great Millstone, GMS, a lot of the times you can ask, Google AI or Chat GPT or Gronk, whatever you may have, and it'll give you, I'm not going to say 100% accuracy, but I would say, 98 to 99% of the time, sometimes 100% of the time, it'll give you exactly the breakdown as to how GMS break down certain chapters. So you could just Google it. So for example, I put in, I was just reading Isaiah chapter 61. And I'm on the treadmill, I'm at the gym, so I'm not walking all fast. I'm just kind of doing some stretch anyway, but I'm on here. And I figured I'm in here by myself, so it's rare. I can, none of these damn Edomites around ear hustling. I can just go ahead and just do a quick little vid on this. But any chapter that you want to know about, man, just Google GMS take, where I just put in, what does GMS have to say about Isaiah 61? And it just popped right up, right? So it says, the Great Millstone, GMS, a prominent faction within the Hebrew Israelite movement, views Isaiah 61 as a literal end-time prophecy or national restoration, the ultimate destruction of modern-day Babylon, which they identify as America and Western society, and the future enslavement of other nations by the Israelites. So we know that to be accurate. That's 100 right there. You know what I'm saying? That's 100. Now, if you notice again, too, because when the apostles are out at camp on Saturdays, what they've been doing a lot is, you'll hear the bishop or, the apostle, beloved apostle Tahar, ask the bishop to go into AI and ask a certain question, see what GMS have to say about this, or see what AI got to say about that, or whatever. And they'll throw the question in, and it'll be on point. So that's the reason why I'm saying, a lot of the times you can go off in there and you can get that information. Now, I've seen videos where the Apostle Tahar has actually corrected AI, because AI, basically, they're listening to the videos. They know what is being said. And there's so many videos that GMS do daily. Hell, AI, I'm surprised AI can keep up with it. I know we can't keep up with it as humans, but AI is pulling in all that data and all that information, and they're generating an overall summary of everything that's being said. And you can ask further questions. You can go on and on and on, because I do notice that, again, the beloved Apostle Tahar, he'll ask like run-on questions, like, well, okay, they said this, ask this. And you'll just see how geek he is, and how, happy that look of surprise on their face, when how accurate, AI gets what they've actually been teaching for years down to the T, so to speak. So we know that this part of it is to be accurate. So it goes off into the specifics, right? Specific GMS teachings on the chapter center around several core themes. See that? So it gives you a nice little breakdown. So, it's not like, because see, I know with YouTube, if you put in GMS Isaiah 61, videos will pop up, but a lot of times they won't no more. Or you'll see somebody that ain't even got nothing to do with GMS. You'll just see all kinds of old ass Edomite pastors popping up, some old ass video from here, or some damn heathen trying to break down the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? And it's not accurate. And then you keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, you might run across somebody from GMS that's actually doing a lesson on it. But see, with AI, matter of fact, see, from AI, it says ask anything at the bottom here. You can actually put in, okay, well, do you have videos on that? Put in, send me the GMS videos, or send me to Apostle Tahar's video on this particular, and it might just do it. I haven't done it yet, but we can even try it. But I'm just doing this for the sake of new believers that are coming into this truth, and you want to know a breakdown on a certain chapter, or it can just be a certain verse. What does GMS have to think about Deuteronomy 7 and 6? You know, just a simple verse. You know, you can put that in, and I'm certain some gonna pop up. But anyway, so they have these bullet points. It says the elect and the 2/3. GMS applies prophecy of binding up the brokenhearted and proclaiming liberty to the captives, Isaiah 61 and 1, to the 12 tribes of Israel currently scattered across the earth in spiritual and physical captivity. They teach that the mourners, Isaiah 61 and 3, are the elect of the 144,000 who are weeping over the abomination and oppression of their people. I see somebody may have an Instagram video to that. So like I said, like if you push some of this stuff, let's see here. Let's just push this. Let's see. So now you see, I'm not sure who was it. You do be seeing you know. But again, if you want to go and check out some videos or something like that, you should be able to go to it. But I would just, you know, because see, like I said again, you're going to see a lot of other people pop up here. So you want to get the apostle, you want to get the GMS video. You don't want to just be listening to somebody else that's touching on the subject, so to speak. You know, just get straight to the source. Get the apostles. Okay, so next bullet point on there, it says the day of vengeance. While mainstream Christianity emphasizes the grace aspect of the chapter, GMS heavily focuses on the day of vengeance of our God, Isaiah 61 and 2. Yeah, because see, these Christians, they want to teach you peace, peace, peace. The Lord loves everybody. The Lord now all of a sudden loves all the nations. He's, you know, everybody can get down with this truth now. You know what I'm saying? All you have to do is believe in sweet white baby Jesus, which is a damn idol. You know? Because even in AI, if you were to look up the word Jesus, all you got to do is ask, well, how did the word Jesus come about, and who is this white guy, basically, that they're representing as who they call Jesus? And it's going to give you the breakdown. It's going to tell you that, okay, the letter J didn't exist back then, basically. You know, it's going to tell you that the letter J, you can, you know, the letter J, E, O, U, or V is not in the Hebrew alphabet. And then they're going to give you the history of where that actual picture comes about that we're normally accustomed to seeing, right? So the next bullet point that's on there, it says the inversion of captivity. GMS points directly to Isaiah 61 and 5, and strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, as proof that upon the return of the kingdom of heaven, other races and nations, the Gentiles, strangers, will become the servants and physical laborers for the nation of Israel. I mean, that's plain and simple. It's exactly what it says. But you do have these, you know, you got Christians, they'll try and get around it because it doesn't fit their doctrine, because they've come up with another false doctrine, you know, of salvation is not actually in the scriptures. So the next bullet point they have on there, the priest of God. The group teaches that the oaks of righteousness, Isaiah 61 and 3, are the 144,000 governing men of Israel who will establish in power, who will be established in power, becoming the ruling priests of God on earth and after the fall of the current world powers. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And it makes sense that it's going to happen. Because, I mean, look at it right now. Who's governing the earth now? Isn't a nation of people governing? Isn't there a race of people that's running everything? Actually, you know, you can go into Job 9 and 24. It says that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof, if not wearing, who is he? Don't the Americans, so to speak, or the so-called white man, and it's not just the Americans. You know, when you look at these Europeans, I watch Euro News every day. And when you look at Euro News, you can clearly see that it's nothing but Edomites running the planet. You got Edomites running France. You got Edomites over in Canada. You got Edomites that's off in Russia. You got Edomites in Ukraine. You got Edomites in Israel. Of course, they're the main ones that's running shit. You got the Edomites that's in Greece. You got the Edomites. They're all over the place. You even got an Edomite, a so-called Jewish lady that's running Mexico. So they're the ones that's in control of the earth. So if they have a up and going government like that and they're running things and they're telling everybody who can do what and who can go where, and they bombing the shit out of whoever don't listen to them, then isn't that a government that's set up? If the Lord got them set up, why can't he have the Israelites set up in the same way in the kingdom? Because we know that kingdoms fall and other kingdoms rise. As a matter of fact, when you go into the book of Daniel, you can see those kingdoms being named off. And there's going to be a final kingdom, right? Matter of fact, let's put in Daniel, because like I said, again, you can ask anything at the bottom. You can just ask questions. It's going to give you information. All you got to do is just, the work is simple now. See, it's not like how, see, the elders, the apostles and elders put in a lot of work going back and forth to libraries and having a bunch of big ass heavy books, man, back in the days. And walking with backpacks and big ass gym bags full of books, you know, and headed to camp with all this. And now you can just, everything is at the touch of your phone. It's at your fingertips now. There's no excuse to not be able to go into these scriptures and look at these videos. You got it right at the touch of your fingers, man. So let's see, Daniel. Let's put in Daniel. Just going to be an add-on question just for the sake of the lesson to show you that you can just simply ask a simple question. Gonna put in Daniel Kingdoms. I'm just gonna put in Daniel's Kingdoms explained. Let's see what pops up. Because it's coinciding with what was already asked. Right? So it says the book of Daniel outlines 4 successive world kingdoms. See that? So these kingdoms, these people were ruling. So the Lord has always had a kingdom set up to rule, and always had people that they were over. And since the Lord is about duality, when you go into what's that, Proverbs 11:1, it talks about how a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. So he's about duality. You can't have a king without subjects. You can't have slaves without free people. You know, he's about duality. You can't have up without down. So with these kingdoms, you had somebody that was in charge, or that was upper ruling. Then you had the people that they were ruling over. And in these kingdoms, the Israelites were being ruled over. So now, the Lord is going to reverse that. So the children of Israel are going to be the rulers, and the other people are going to be ruled over. What's so wrong with that? But see, these Christians, they hear that and they be like, oh, but that's so unfair. Well, why wasn't it unfair when it happened to the children of Israel over and over again? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. So you can clearly see right here, it says the book of Daniel outlines 4 successive world kingdoms that rule the earth before God establishes the eternal kingdom. So the eternal kingdom is coming. The timeline is revealed through 2 matching visions: King Nebuchadnezzar's statue dream in Daniel 2 and Daniel 4, and Daniel's 4 beast vision in Daniel 7. You can get those accounts. So you have them right here, right? So you have Daniel 2, statue part 1, right? Kingdom Empire. Then you have Daniel 2 statue part, and then you have Daniel 7 spiritual beast symbol, historic interpretation. Okay, so the first kingdom was a head of gold in Daniel 2, and then in Daniel 7, lion with eagle's wings. That was the Babylonian Empire. Second kingdom, chest and arms of silver. Bear raised, that's in Daniel 2. Bear raised on one side, Daniel 7. Media and Persia Empire, right? Then you have the third kingdom, belly and thighs of bronze, and that's in Daniel 2. Daniel 7, 4-headed leopard, Grecian Empire, see? Then you have the fourth kingdom, legs of iron, feet of clay, that's in Daniel 2. And then in Daniel 7, terrifying beast with 10 horns, Roman Empire, and offshoots. And we know that those offshoots, they're around today, you know what I'm saying, because the Roman Empire was brought back to life at a certain point. That's another lesson. But you can clearly see that when these kingdoms was ruled, who were they ruling over? So it's going to be that way in the kingdom. It's not just going to stop all of a sudden and everybody that obeyed God, or everybody that loved Jesus is going to be on. And even let's just say, even if that were the case, it would still be two sides. There would be people that love so-called Jesus will be on his side, and then you will have, well, from what Christianity would tell you, the other people are just going to be burning in this fire. So it's all off, man. No, there's going to be a kingdom that's going to be set up with the Israelites, and they're going to rule over their enemies, man. It's just that simple, man. It's that simple. So it goes off into the explanation of all these particular kingdoms. Okay, but what it didn't do, it didn't give the last kingdom. Let me see. Oh yeah, it did. It says the final eternal kingdom. Both visions culminate in the total destruction of all human empires by divine kingdom. This is what's going to happen, man. These people are not going to be in rulership like how they were, man. It says the stone in Daniel 2, a supernatural stone cut without human hands, smashes the statue's feet. And I'm going to tell you now, man, with feet injuries, because that's what I'm on the treadmill right now doing. I'm doing a rehabilitation on a foot injury. And that shit, man, well, look, when you got a foot injury, that shit shuts down everything. Because you can't run, you can't jog, you can barely fucking walk, so to speak. It depends on where the injury is at. It's hard to get around. Matter of fact, it seems like it takes a toll on your whole damn brain. Depends on where the pain is at, man. It's hard. If you stomp your toe, it's just gonna slow you up for real. In some cases, you gotta sit your ass down. In some cases, you'll have a person just in a fucking wheelchair for a while. So, but anyway, it says a supernatural stone cut without hands smashes the statue's feet, causing the entire structure to crumble into dust. The stone then grows into a mountain that fills the entire earth. Now, Daniel 7, it says the Ancient of Days executes judgment on the beast, and the Son of Man is given everlasting dominion over all peoples and nations. And when you go into the Son of Man being given that dominion, his disciples, the men of the Lord, the elect of Israel, they're gonna share with that inheritance. They're heirs to that. They're co-heirs with Yahushua, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus. So of course they're gonna rule with him. As a matter of fact, I can end with this. My little time is about up on this treadmill. I'm getting ready to get off here anyway. But let's what is that? Let's just get a quick script. Go to the blue letter here. So this is the Lord speaking, because it's in red letter. This is his kingdom that's going to come. In Revelation 2 and 25, it says, but that which ye have already, but that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. So these men of Israel, the elect of Israel, are going to share in that rulership over these other nations, man. And ye shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have received of my Father. Right? Let me read it in the Amplified. Revelation 2 and 24 in the Amplified. But to the rest of you in Thyatira, who do not hold this teaching, and who have not explored and known the depths of Satan, Salakia, I'll jump to the wrong verse. Let me jump to verse 25, Amplified, Revelation 2 and 25. Except to hold tightly to what you have until I come. And he who overcomes the world through believing, see, they say Jesus, but we know his name is Yahushua, and the true name of the Father is Yahweh. It says the world through believing that Yahushua is the Son of Yahweh. And he who keeps my deeds, doing things that please me, until the very end, to him will I give authority and power over the nations. And he will shepherd, and he shall shepherd and rule them with a rod of iron, as the earthen pots are broken in pieces, as I also have received authority and power to rule them from my Father. And I will give him the morning star. He who has an ear, let him hear, and heed what the Spirit says to the churches. So this is what's coming, man. So I didn't want to keep it long. Again, I was just on this treadmill. I was, I'm kind of meditating on that. But the point of the lesson was as well is, if you want to know a certain breakdown on any chapters or anything that you may not understand as far as the scriptures, because some people may come across something that may seem contradictory. Well, the Bible says this, but it says this over here. To get the complete understanding, we need teachers. And our teachers are, or my teacher, is the men of Great Millstone. Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, he's live right now. I'm about to get back into his video, but Apostle Rakah, Apostle Ramalab, and then you got all these beautiful elders, the bishops, out of Connecticut. It's just so much wisdom and knowledge and understanding that comes from these men through the spirit and power of Yahweh by H.I.M. And you can get the breakdowns of these lessons just by putting in a simple question to AI. Google AI, man, works. I mean, shit, you ain't got to necessarily have any of the other ones. You can buy some of the AI programs, if you want to do a little extra. But the basic AI, Google, it pretty much can handle for you, man. So, again, there's no excuses for not being able to get these proper breakdowns, just get the words, man, in the proper way, because we do want to have the words and not add to or take away from the Holy Scriptures, like how the Lord said. You don't want to be one of those people that's just out here winging it. We can just get the breakdowns from the men of the Lord have done the work. The Lord has done the work through the men of the Lord, basically. So we're at the end of this thing, man. So I'm going to end out there. And I pray that the lesson was edifying. From Yasha Allah and the Baba Boy.